Of all the films this year that I thought were going to take me by surprise, this wasn't on my bingo card at all. I went in reluctantly, expecting very, very little. I didn't think the marketing was good, I didn't think the trailer looked good, I didn't think the actors and the filmmakers seemed particularly interested in promoting it. It just didn't feel like a summer blockbuster in any way, shape or form. Much to my disbelief, it was pretty alright. I don't know if it's because my expectations were so low, as I went in prepared for a hate watch, and by the end of it there was a film which I thoroughly enjoyed for the most part. There are a few things to nitpick, and these were mostly at the start of the film. I don't think we need to see Supergirl on the toilet, but maybe that's just me, so I'll leave the rest of my nitpicking, as it seems boring for me to say tiny things that I didn't like when overall it was a decent enough bit of filmmaking. It's not without its faults, of course. The action scenes and set pieces are muddled, confusing and badly edited, with some dodgy CGI thrown in for good measure. The pacing is off in places and dips here and there. Aside from this, the bits connecting them are good. The least I expect from a film like this is a cohesive beginning, middle and end, and they managed that. The world building was decent. The look of the films in terms of colour palette and design was good, even though it was rather one note. The different planets and ships were all very similar, but it looked suitably lived in and populated by a wide range of characters with their own mannerisms and language. I'm not a comic book guy, so I don't know if they were taking liberties with the Supergirl lore, with the villains in it, or with any other characters. After my initial dislike in what they were doing with Supergirl and how they were approaching it, once you give it time to explain itself, it's actually a pretty good take on the character, and it does pay off in the end. The reason I was initially apprehensive about this portrayal of Supergirl is, given the state of blockbuster movies and superhero movies in particular, I didn't have faith that the producers, the director and the scriptwriters were going to be clever enough to have the character develop and learn as the movie progressed. Granted, she doesn't have much of an arc, and it's an obvious arc, but at least it's there. Jason Momoa is sprinkled into proceedings, adding nice thick layers of ham throughout the film. His character is a cross between Rob Zombie and Beetlejuice. Again, I don't know if Momoa's portrayal of Lobo is to Supergirl as Joel Schumacher's Bane was to Batman and Robin, so there's no praise or rage for me in this department. Generally, the cast was very good. Millie Alcock, the writers and the directors solved the emotional scenes at the core of the film with great style and acting, and I was reasonably invested in the titular character by the end of it. The flamboyantly named villain, Krem of the Yellow Hills, was played well by its actor. He was particularly dastardly and was at the centre of some quite shocking scenes that I wasn't expecting to see in a film such as this, and on a couple of occasions I was taken aback by the brutality. My main gripe about the casting was Eve Ridley. Now, I don't want to be nasty to child actors, but there are good child actors and there are bad child actors. I will say that on this occasion the performance captured is at the bad end of the spectrum, I'm afraid. There is enough talent there, and I'm sure she has time to develop her craft. The film suffers in the second act when Supergirl leaves the film. It comes to a shuddering halt and we are left to follow Ridley for a while. With stronger casting in this area, the film wouldn't have suffered as much as it does during this period. Overall, really, yeah, pretty good, I guess. I liked it better than the recent Superman movie. Incidentally, the Man of Steel does show up, mostly to be pissed over, actually and figuratively. However, this is only to show the dichotomy between the cousins and nothing to get worked up about. His legacy remains intact. I would quite happily sit through Supergirl 2 if they ever get round to it, which I don't think they will, because this one's going to bomb harder at the box office than a Kryptonian crash landing into Kansas. It's a lot like Groundhog Day, but with less Annie McDowell and more face piercings.